welcome back to TMX Brick Notes. My name is Martin. Thank you very much for stopping by today. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about with Lego, but I want to start with a question that I'll answer at the end of the video. So, my question today is all about Lego food and drink, and according to the BrickLink catalog, only 2 items were created prior to 1997. Now that's key because that's right around that time where I hit my dark ages. So there were only 2 items that I really knew of as like food and drink items before I hit my dark ages. My dark ages is the time where I just went away from Lego, and so when I came back and got into Lego, all these new items were out there like turkeys and carrots and T-bone steaks. Very awesome. So stay tuned to the end of the video. I will answer what those 2 items are. Do you know what they are, and do you know what years they came out? Think about that. Here we go. What's going on right now with Lego? Well, first of all, Modern Brick has made a few videos, and the crown that Bonsai is wearing is one of those videos, so you can go check that out. Another thing on YouTube is My Brick View, or The Brick View. Yes, if you want to hashtag My Brick View, you can send questions and comments to Mike and Kevin. It's a combination between 3 Brick Friends and Kevin F., the original minifig. Very cool. The Creativity Tour is coming to Des Moines September 18th through the 20th, 2015. I haven't decided which day I want to go. I'm pretty sure at this point that I do want to go. It's essentially the same thing as Kids Fest. It's just on a smaller scale because, well, let's face it, Des Moines is kind of a smaller city. Another thing going on is I want to post my city update for September. It should come sometime this week, but I also need to shoot the video for the bank. I've got the detail finished on the inside, so I'm really excited about that. The city update that I show you for September is going to be a little more of me talking about my future plans for the city, and it's not going to be staged or anything like that. And I'm going to be continuing to do that monthly, whereas I think quarterly, with one starting in October, I'm going to stage it similar to what you saw in June with city update number 2. Okay, so I've got some BrickLink store shoutouts. I've placed quite a few BrickLink orders. I probably do 5 a month, maybe 5 to 10 per month. And I had 2 orders that I did recently that really stood out. So I'm going to talk about those later. The 2 that stood out are Father and Son Bricks and PJ's Brick Emporium. And there's been a lot of great sellers out there, and you know quite a few from YouTube, and they're awesome too, but just wanted to mention those. Some of the cool things that I watched on YouTube recently: TF Bricks had a city update and was reaching or topped 1,000 subs. This might have been a week or 2 ago that I saw that. TubeLug Official has a newsletter, so that's a very cool video that they recently did on their channel. I already mentioned Kevin F. and 3 Brick Friends working together. And then Giraffes. I watched a video on YouTube about giraffes. This has nothing to do with Lego, but I found out they can run 35 miles an hour. They live up to 25 years. They're almost 20 foot tall, and the most amazing thing that I thought was the most amazing was that they sleep between 10 minutes and 2 hours per day. That's nuts. That means they're awake like almost the entire day. I thought that's worthy enough to say, right? A few really cool things that I saw on YouTube. Bricking It Up made a popcorn popper, a very cool mock, and the thing that I thought was best about this is that he mentioned he saw it in real life. So I've talked about this when I was talking about trying to create buildings and stuff for my city. The best thing you can do is see something in real life and then try to recreate that. That is, if you're struggling to try and create something, or if you're not sure which colors to use. Some people are just awesome and they can, imagine something without needing to see something and then create it. That's awesome. But the popcorn popper that Bricking It Up did, very, very cool. Buying used sets. So if you're going to buy a used set on BrickLink or Craigslist or in eBay or whatever else, you should probably expect that it will be sent with most or part of the set already put together. If you're buying an old set that says it's new, that's not going to be the case. But if you're buying a used set, a lot of times people will not take it all the way apart. So that's something that Pufferfish Studios saw, and just I wanted to mention that too. In my old Classic City, I bought an old fire station, and it came almost put together. Not a bad thing. If you want to like completely break it down and then rebuild it from scratch, you can do that. But I don't think I did that. I think I just left it it's halfway together. The fire trucks were put together, and I just kept going with it. I'm really excited because I finally finished putting away the big Bricklink haul that I had. If you watched me on Instagram, I had my city covered with all sorts of parts. I had one order on Bricklink from Father and Son Bricks that was 213 lots, and it was less than $1 per lot, yes. But the prices were just so good. I tried to buy out as many lots as I could, but man, 213 lots, I can't imagine. If someone placed an order in my store for that many lots, I think I'd go nuts. It was so many. So I even wrote, hey, I'm sorry, I know it's going to take forever. But the amazing thing about it is that it didn't take forever. Father and Son Bricks did an amazing job. And then on top of that, I wanted to mention them, I mentioned before here. Mention. They refunded me 10 cents for a piece that they didn't have. No, it was like a little scratch. But they still sent me the piece. Plus they refunded me the money. That's very good customer service. And like I said, 213 lots, no complaints. Very cool. The other store I wanted to mention was PJ's Brick Emporium. Now, they actually had a part that they said they stepped on. It was a treasure chest, and they stepped on it and broke it. Well, rather than going out and buying a new piece and sending it to me, it was a medium lavender treasure chest, hard to get. So they went ahead and shipped everything else right away, which I thought was fantastic. And they said, hey, I'm getting you this new part. I'm going to send it as soon as I get it. Well, they did send it as quick as they could, and it showed up with a few extra parts. So very, very cool customer service, again, from PJ's Brick Emporium. I'm now going to answer the question, what were the first 2 items released by LEGO for food and drink? And a quick teaser here, in my next vlog, I'm going to talk about what I actually used for parts for food and drink in the 80s and 90s, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. Okay, LEGO in 1982 released part number 4342, bread, as the first food item. And it came out in the tan color, and it actually came out in Fabuland sets in 1982. There were 3 separate Fabuland sets that it came out in. And then you had to wait all the way until 1995 for ice cream scoops, part number 6254. And these ice cream scoops actually came out in Belleville. Actually, just one Belleville set. And it came out in white. And then the following year, 1996, there were 2 sets. The Country Club and Paradisa came out with white ice cream. And the Town Set Community Workers came out with white ice cream. So there you go. Now, those were the very first 2 food items. In 97, it started to roll, and LEGO started coming out with more food items every year. And like I said, we have a bunch of awesome items. In my next video, I'll talk to you about what I used to use back in the day, because I didn't really have any food items. So I think that's about it for today. Thank you very much for stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you all next time. See ya! So now that you're wearing that crown and you feel like you're the king, you don't want to share the camera with me?
No! More food for King Bonsai!
Okay, how about some bamboo?
Yep. Yum, 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 yum.